Hey there and happy Tuesday. So I'm here to bring you Jill Scrooby's card number 2 for her virtual party. Oh, kind of like when I hold it back here, all I see is just like this whole camouflage. It looks like a net of something. So maybe when I bring it forward, there are a lot of pieces to this card today. So it does kind of like lose focus once I bring it back. And because I coordinated a lot of the products, that's probably why it kind of just all blends from back a ways until you see it up front. So this month when I do my set of 8 later, I don't want to do any Christmas because by the time I usually make up cards and send them out, Christmas could be over. I hope that I can get out cards before then, but actually my plan is to make things that aren't Christmas so that I can send them out after Christmas with a sneak peek of some celebration and upcoming mini products for you guys that love to see sneak peeks. Hi there, Mary. Hi, Lisa. And so since today I have a hostess, and so since I know I'll be getting her cards for those that have ordered already, I'll get these cards out for those already this week. Then I'm like, I'm going to make a Christmas card today to inspire you guys and give you some ideas because I'm using some products that have been around for a while. And just want to make sure my volume doesn't come blasting out like it did yesterday from my iPad. I want to use some products that have been around and some paper that's a carryover from last year. Was one of my favorites, the Painted Christmas. So let me get my camera turned around so you can see Jill's card number 2 at a better angle here. Like so. Here we go. And whoops, I don't want to get it too far. Oh, my camera just kept going. So today I remembered to post her host code as well as her name there. So here is the Perched in a Tree bundle, and we're going to do some watercolor painting on it and bring in some extra products that don't go with the bundle and all sorts of things. And just I was inspired by this card on Pinterest, and yet I changed up the color scheme, the paper, you name it. I kind of think like I just if I could have x-rayed the bones of the card, maybe that stayed the same, but everything else changed. Hi, Amy. Good to see you on here. So the Perched in a Tree bundle comes from the mini catalog here, mini catalog on page 46. And I always kind of joke that this must be my favorite out of the mini catalog because my sheets come right out. So I often flip to this and go, I haven't done anything with the branch yet. And so today I'm doing something with the bird and the branch because I've done so much with these aspen tree, just the dies in this set, which are phenomenal. So another thing that I want to tell you about the stamp set and these wonderful dies, let me pick them up, that I'll be using today. I'm using, like I said, the bird die and the branch, and you've seen me use this a million times. I even use it for a Halloween card to go with my gnomes. And then of course what's left is a piece to make kind of like a little greenery on your branch, and then of course the beautiful leaves that cut and emboss as you run it through the machine. So that's what goes together with this bundle. But this, if you look on the retiring list, is one of those products that might look a little confusing. It's not that these products will be retiring. Thank you, Amy. It's more that the products will carry over, but not with the bundle pricing. There we go. So I would like to let you know that. So what I like about this, today I'm making a Christmas card. So there's things that, sentiments that can be used for Christmas, a kindness for like, thank you, no matter what, I'm here for you. I've used that quite a bit and showing you guys this, but it's been a while since I've gotten this out. And so I was excited to bring you this again today. So let me get that off of my workspace. And then I'm going to move to this pretty paper. So this is what you're going to see in the background of this card somewhat, and you'll see that like in my smattering of little pieces, you'll go, oh yeah, I remember when Belle used those pine cones or some of these Painted Christmas images. So that is the Painted Christmas designer series paper, and that I think is on page 26 of that same mini catalog. This is only $4.80 for this packet. Excuse me. Package of pretty paper. Now my throat's gonna go dry, guys. And it doesn't happen often, but I hate it when it does. Because I feel like if it starts out that way, it's gonna be all video long. So let me take another sip quick. Thank you, Cheryl. Hello, hello. Maybe I'll catch up and see names here while I take a little breather. Okay. All right. So my color combination I thought was kind of interesting too. I've got some smoky slate, and then, like I said, that pretty Designer Series paper, Painted Christmas, and then Evening Evergreen and Pool Party. And it's like, I think that's kind of like a color combination that I don't think I've used before together, and I love it. So let me start putting things together for you. I think I'm going to start, excuse me, with this strip. So I was going to take actually like a 4 by 5.5 piece of, or even like 4 by 5.25 piece, and then do this. But I'm like, you know what? I end up cutting this in half, and I have my other half here. And you know me, it's like if I can be resourceful and make this card this way, and then maybe use this half for the other side, and somehow make it look like my birds perched in there. I just couldn't get it to look kind of the same or cozy, or just didn't look nice using the sides. So I'm like, well, why be wasteful and cut the whole piece out just to cut half of it away and throw it away? And some people don't have a problem with that, and that's fine. I was like, how can I like make as much out of my cardstock as possible? So what I'm going to do then is take this piece, which is 2.25 by 5.25. Hi there, Laura. And I'm just going to lay this over there. And I still want kind of an edge piece here to get some adhesive on and up in the corners like so. And that's on there. So I'm just going to run this through my cut and emboss machine to give kind of one of those background layers. There's a lot of pieces, like I said. So then we have this on there. Where's my take your pick tool? Just a few pieces to kind of pick and poke out, but not too many. Like so. And I'm not big on, ooh, did I use half the die or not? It was kind of like however I laid it, what comes out, comes out. But I do kind of like how it kind of like flowed up like that. Couldn't have planned that, really, because you just kind of lay it down and whatever comes out with that measurement of paper. But I do like that. Probably maybe even better than cutting the whole thing through and then cutting it in half. So maybe it gives it just a little bit more. Who knows? All right, not gonna go on about those details yet. So then what I want to do is kind of start building this card for you. So taking this pretty paper here, like look how different the back side of this would look. So if I were to put this over there, it almost looked like springtime, wouldn't it, in a fun way? Or almost like a baby card. You could almost see like little tiny baby forest creatures coming out, like a fresh little spring coat there. So that's kind of fun that that's the same paper, but I'm going to use this that has some deeper tones in there to build my card front. So let me grab my adhesive. Here it is. I was like, where did that go? All right. So I'm just going to tape that down with my seal adhesive here. And this is cut 4 inches by 5.25. And putting that on my card base. My card base is smoky slate, and I'm opening it this way today. So that's that. And then I'm just going to follow through and then put that adhesive along the edges here. And there's enough to easily do that, and just kind of tack down a few spots of adhesive here and there along the trees. Just want to make sure and get rid of that tiny little piece that's stuck. And then this just fits right over top of that pretty paper. So already now we've got that whole backdrop of a card really pretty quick and easy. So now let me do some stamping, and then we can cut that out. So this fun branch that matches that whole aspen look that's within the dies. So I'm going to ink that up in Memento Black here. Just kind of scoot that branch all the way along and put that on a piece of smoky slate cardstock like so. And look how realistic that looks. Isn't that fun just to see all of that character in that just one branch? I know sometimes I get like, oh, that's so cool. And hey there, Kay. And then I'm going to take the same black ink and take this puffy little bird. Doesn't this bird totally look like it's ready for winter? because it's a nice big fat bird, I'm going to tip that over and put my ink on it that way. And I'll stamp this out like so. So I've got that. And then these two pieces from the Aspen dies. So some of you snag the Aspen dies for free, actually. Sometimes I hate mentioning this just in case you didn't snag them for free, but during the second round of celebration in 2022 this year, there was an option that you could get the Aspen dies towards the end for one of your free products with a $100 order, and some of you guys did that. So some of you might have these dies, so you might go, maybe I do want those coordinating stamps too, because they are really pretty, very natural looking. Okay, so we've got this branch now I'll cut out, and then I'm just gonna bring this back and lay the bird on there, and then we'll cut out the bird. And it's kind of one of those things, the way I'm building the card, I'm going to be bringing my machine back and forth into the picture to kind of go through different steps. So let me run that through and set this aside, and now we've got the bird too. And I left the bird white. I thought about stamping black on the gray too, but I wanted to do some watercoloring, and it's amazing how stark white it looks compared to that gray until I get some color going on it. So let me do that, and let me grab some scratch paper. Oh, let's see. Never know where my scratch paper ends up. We'll see here. Okay, I've got a piece of scratch paper right here. All right, so with that, and I don't want to get like extra ink and water on my surface here, so that's why I want that. That's pretty important in this project or anytime you're watercoloring, and I want to get my camera level down just a little bit more so I can show you. So what I'm going to do is get out a couple of my water painters. These come in a 3-pack, so I just grabbed a couple different barrels here. And I'm going to start with my Pool Party ink pad. You can squish it if you want to get that ink to transfer over here. But what I did is just grabbed like a little, let me move this out of the way, my re-inker, and just grabbed a little bit of re-inker and put it in there. And then when I went to grab some color, I squeezed the water out of the barrel to kind of water it down. So you can kind of tell that it's pretty watered down. And yes, it does look green, doesn't it? At first, I rechecked my re-inker bottle and I went, this is Pool Party, because it almost looked too green. But then with the color of the card, I'm like, oh, green's not so bad. But then as I started to color it out here on my bird, it definitely looked like Pool Party. So it was not bad at all. So I kind of tend to stay around the edges. And then as my color tends to wear out, then I'll kind of go towards the center. That way it kind of gives deeper lines like it would in nature. So we've got that. So literally that's how fast it took to just brush on some color here. Let me get my hand there and then it seems to focus better. So just adding a little bit of Pool Party. And then if you were not switching brushes, I just out of habit always tend to kind of wash that out till it runs clear. But because I have another brush, I'm just going to go and grab my Smoky Slate. And this one needs a little bit of my re-inker. So I'm just going to grab this and just do a little scribble on there like so. And then you can see what pushing this water in there does. So you can kind of see that moves that around. So I'm going to do that same thing, just kind of pick up some of that ink there and then just watercolor, kind of a light color wash here. Like so, and then some of my darker colors, I'm just gonna get more along the edges, especially you can tell the artist that designed this for Stampin' Up! Has some darker spots towards the end of the feathers here. So I'm going to come in a little bit darker and actually kind of go over top of the Pool Party where they connect there in the body part. And then just kind of leave this a little bit lighter if possible. All right. So there we have this all colored in already. Like that is pretty quick. And so with that, I'm just going to try and grab a darker spot here and just fill in carefully. I didn't know if I could do this with you guys watching. Just carefully with this tip, just kind of go over these little talons kind of a little bit too, because when I didn't put that, put any ink on there, they kind of looked just too bare and too white. It didn't need a lot of inking in there, but just wanted to kind of fill those in. So now that is done. So I'm going to set that aside as well and set my paper away because I think I'm done watercoloring. So let me actually like pop this up a little bit more so you can see better how I go about assembling the rest of the card. So for those of you just joining in, this is the card that I'm making here. And so now I want some greenery, if you see that sticking out from underneath the cute bird here. So what I grabbed were oops, there goes a pine cone flying out, the Christmas pine cone dies here. So what these are big dies that are meant to layer. So you have some of the more solid pine cone edging kind of cut out there, but this can be greenery. And then the top piece here, which is a little bit more jaggedy, and then all sorts of different pine cone images. And I was going to tuck some little pine cones in there, but then I'm like, there's so much going on with the card and everything. Actually, I need to take this out to use it, that I didn't want more busyness in there or make it look like, you know, like a fruit cake that we just threw everything together and you don't know what's what. So I'm going to take this, and this is going to go through on a big piece. This is like 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 of evening evergreen. And we're only going to need like a section. I would say I can probably, with one pass of this, do maybe 3 cards, just because we're just using like a little patch of greenery. But this die is meant to coordinate with the pretty paper, so it adds quite a bit. And we'll see here if this doesn't pop out really nice. My first time, what I think I'm going to do, then I had to back up because sometimes it comes right out and I didn't want to struggle or tear something on camera. So I have this piece all ready to go. And then I can show you how I'm just going to take and cut like a little section here off. So I've already cut one section to make my sample card. And as I separate this on here like so, and you'll kind of see obvious places of where to cut. Then you have just like these little pieces and you go, that looks like really scrappy. Well, the bird's going to kind of fit and cover up like this pine cone image or this pine cone image. And so then what we have is the fun little tufts of greenery sticking out. So not bad at all. That's totally intentional, even though it might not look great. Kind of like our hair in the morning. You go, boy, what's that? But you kind of need all that to work its way out when it's all said and done, right? Okay, now, whoops, to build my card here, what I'm going to do is take this branch out and get some mini dimensionals, which are here. And these mini dimensionals work perfect for this branch because it's kind of a skinnier branch. I start on each end and one in the middle with the dimensionals here, like so. Hey there, Missy. And this I'm going to just kind of scoot up kind of 1/3 of the way from the bottom. I had it kind of sitting down lower, but then I realized I want to put a sentiment there. So kind of sneaking that up there. And then I'm going to just kind of lay this here for now. And because each section that we use is going to kind of navigate where maybe I want to put my bird and where I want this to be, and maybe also where I might need to snip off some other pieces. So I'm always kind of playing around with that. But how cute is that for like a backdrop? So once I kind of know that that's going to work, then I just take some actual seal adhesive, put that on there, and tuck that underneath my branch like so. And if that comes up and if that goes out, that's all fine. Now this I'm going to have to trim just a tiny little bit because it's not going to fit in my envelope unless I do. So I'm just going to trim off that little piece there. And now my bird is ready to get some dimensionals on here, and that can be put right over top that little greenery there, like so. Okay. Let me get these off. Oh, I should show you guys a new trick that one of my team members showed us on a video that she created. So on the next thing that I put on my card, I'll show you that. Okay, so that I'm just going to press down, press those dimensionals down in there. So even though it's the same colors there, you can tell. So it's kind of like just in nature how camouflage things look, but I love the coordination of all these colors together and putting that together. So now for the sentiment, I'm grabbing some pool party to kind of tie in the color of that bird. And I'm going to open up my Evening Evergreen ink pad, which is the same as that little greenery there from the cardstock. And I love the Let Heaven and Nature Sing. It's perfect for a bird, don't you think? I love to sing, totally love to sing. My family probably knows every song or every word to every song because I'm always singing in the vehicle when they were growing up. Okay, so Let Heaven and Nature Sing. I'm pulling out my double oval punch and taking the top one. That fits in there so wonderful. So I'm just going to give that punch and pop that out. So we've got a nice scallop edge to that. And then I'm just going to put a couple dimensionals on here. Now, if you struggle with this, I was watching a video of my team, and what she does is take your pick tool and just kind of pokes and pulls, and those come off just like bing, bing, and it's off of there. So I need to remember and do that more often. So now this sentiment is going to sit right down in there. Let Heaven and Nature Sing. How pretty is that, you guys? I love how this card's coming together. And now to add a little bit of embellishment. So these festive pearls have been so fun with all the perfect Christmas colors, your reds and the lighter greens, silver and gold. And this is Pool Party in here. So I thought, oh, we should use some of the Pool Party on our card. And I feel like once I add like one, it almost looks silver, but that's because it's got that like shimmery shine. The pearl does, and so it kind of looks silvery, but Pool Party, really pretty. So I'm just going to put kind of one in that corner and then two up here, and then that adds so much. But I went one step further because I thought, how fun would this be? Because iridescent like tinsel trim, this is called, yeah, iridescent trim. This has like that shimmer shine of greenery. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to cut the tiniest little strip here off of there and kind of put that within the branch. So it almost looks like a little bit of snow covering on here. So to put that on, I'm going to take a glue dot and just press that into there. Thank you, Missy. And I haven't tacked down the legs here on my bird yet. So as I just kind of lay that next to the branch, kind of on top there, I can just tuck it right, press it in with the glue dot, tuck it underneath the bird. But then as you can see, then those legs kind of want to pop up and look like they're kind of flying. I didn't like that. So then I just grabbed another mini glue dot and just, or not mini glue dot, mini dimensional, and put that underneath the talon like so, and it just sticks right back down. And because it's kind of cushioned, it's not too much. But how fun to just have a little extra shimmer shine. And if you don't like that maybe sticking up, you can always kind of put it underneath there a little bit, or add even another glue dot towards the end of that there. But I just love the shimmer shine that added to the card in a fun way. So yeah, so that's the outside. And because I put kind of a lot of things on the outside, I'm like, okay, we're gonna go really simple on the inside, guys. And Missy's like, Belle, you always do such fun inside. I'll never forget when you said that. I do. But today we're just going to do the other sentiment, or one of the others from the Perched in a Tree stamp set, wishing you abundant joy and peace. And that I'm also going to stamp, just like I did the other sentiment, in the Evening Evergreen, wishing you abundant joy and peace. Evening Evergreen. So we've got that with that same font as the front, and that's going to be ready to just tack down like so. Like I said, there's just a lot going on the front with different textures and colors and patterns and stuff, but I really thought it tied together color wise. And I think the amazing thing, I will let you in on a secret here, is that, you know me, whenever I am trying to come up like with my color combination, I take the package of paper, and like in this case, it happens to be, oh, thank you, Missy. This happens to be, like I said, the Painted Christmas. And so I kind of read through the back because don't these leaves look like they should be pool party? Like it all kind of coordinates when you see it there, but pool party isn't listed on the back. And so even though this is kind of my go-to to help me plan out like what colors of cardstock and things that I should add, you don't always have to like have that be a match like 100% perfect. So it did work out really well for how I wanted it to look, even though it wasn't, you know, exactly what Stampin' Up! Had listed. And I've had that with other paper packages too, and it just is what it is. So so don't always feel like if you aren't following the pattern, it's that's not wrong either. So thanks so much. There's like I said, let heaven and nature sing, and wishing you abundant joy and peace. So, and for those of you just joining in, I see Lois here too. The bundle, Perched in a Tree bundle, the bundle, these products will be carrying over, but not at the bundle 10% savings. So want to let you know that. So I think, let me get my camera turned around for those of you that have been or will be ordering through Jill's virtual party. You guys will keep me on my toes making a bunch of these today. A little bit putsy, and thank you, yeah, thank you, Missy, because yeah, that just pops with that. I think that pool party and then the evening evergreen, like I said, I don't know if I've ever used those colors together, but I love how pretty that looks, just like a natural tone on tone in a fun way. Hi, Maureen, and thanks, Sherry. So yeah, so for those of you that will be getting the cards and how you can get to the cards I'm making, yesterday's card and then today's card and then tomorrow's card that you haven't even seen that I'm going to demo, is place a minimum order of $25 using Jill's host code, and you'll get the 3 cards that I make for her demo for free with placing that order. If you have an order and need help with that, let me know, and then I will help you place that order too. So these are going to be some fun cards to make up. I always enjoy making up the host cards for people that have been ordering to support my hostesses that step up to help make my business run and make all sorts of inspiration come to you guys too. So take care, have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye.